Hey, it's Eric here at Peachtree Classic Cars with a 1953 Chevrolet short bed 5-window truck. This one's got a V8 automatic, Impala steering wheel. Drives nice and straight down the road. It's manual steering. This is an uncut frame. It's not a clipped truck. Really, really easy to drive straight down the road. You can hear the transmission shifts out nice and smooth. And judging from underneath, we'll go underneath it here in a minute. I believe this is newer transmission just by looking at it. Can't say for sure. I don't have any history on rebuild or anything like that, but saw a small leak in the transmission. Went under there, found a few of the bolts a little bit loose. Really nice sounding exhaust. I think it's actually straight pipes. It's a little bit loud, and muffler would change that, but I kind of, to me, it's not so loud that it's obnoxious. It's kind of cool sounding. Power brake booster. I'm going to shut her off and we can hear a little bit better. One of the most common things that happens when I find a little transmission leak is I go under there and the pan bolts are a little bit loose. I've had many situations like that. So that's what happened on this truck. I noticed a little bit of leakage in the garage. Went underneath and some of the pan bolts were a little bit looser than they should have been, so tighten those up and it seems to be good now. Nice looking engine detail, and I'm trying to start to do this. Haven't done this before, but I'm trying when I get a V8 to get to the back and pull the numbers, and I wrote it on the windshield, so it's actually, well, it may not be able to be seen here, but I wrote it here. 140-10209 is what the block number appears to be. Just like a 80s model 350. So we'll go up underneath the truck in just a minute, but this has got a nice I'd say driver quality burgundy paint job on it. It's got a little bit of metallic in it, and right now you can't see it much. When the sun hits it, it shines up at a whole nother level. And it looks really nice. So consistent from bumper to bumper. A couple of spots where there's some nicks and scratches. This is definitely an older paint job that still, like I said, looks consistent from bumper to bumper. When we get right up on it, there's plenty of places where there's a little chip here, and just some scratches here, maybe when they were putting the hood back on. A few spots where probably people put tools when they were working on it. Another chip here, another chip here. So when you get right up on it and eagle eye it, there's just imperfections all the way around the truck. It's a nice solid truck. We'll look up underneath. A little scuff from somebody backing into the garage. A little scuff here as well. Some of this stuff probably can be sanded out, wet sanded out, or buffed out, but some of this stuff would require some touch-up paint if you want it to look better. Got the little mini roll pan down here with a rear bumper delete. If I was personally keeping this truck, I'd probably order a chrome rear bumper for it and brackets. It's got a oak wood bed that was redone a long time ago, and now it's time to redo it again. Again, if it was me, I'd probably pull these boards out. Now you could flip them over and they would actually look fresh, or run them through a planer or sand them down, put a fresh coat on. But they're really solid. They don't appear to need to be replaced at all. And we'll go under the truck in a minute and you can see the bed from under there. A couple of spots here, you know, and it's weird when I clean the truck and I go back and find stuff like this that would buff off. So a few things here, spot here where the paint's chipped off, probably, you know, loading something in the back of the truck, those kind of things. So top looks good. I don't see any bubbling up there, nice and solid. Little chip there too. So this is probably what falls in the category of a 20 footer when you're standing about, I'm actually only standing about 7 feet away from it now, but standing 20 feet away from the truck. It's, you know, across the parking lot or walking up on it at a car show, go, wow, this is a nice looking truck. You get right up on it and see that it's an older restoration. It's got brand new rally wheels with newer tires on it. I don't think they're brand new tires, but they have a lot of good tread left on them. Matching set of tires. Brand new rally wheels with new center caps and new beauty rings. Doors open and shut nicely. Nice and quiet. And you can tell somebody, you know, reupholstered this, you know, I'm going to say probably back in the 90s maybe or something. Donor bench seat out of a later model Chevrolet truck or bench seat. And somebody replaced the dash. That's the one thing that I'm not crazy about, but the nice thing is it's not hard to put original gauges back in it and put the original bezel back on. Old radio, I actually turned it on. Light comes on, don't hear any sound out of it. It may not have any speakers hooked up to it. Actually, you can see where there was a speaker underneath that little piece of carpet. I guess I could have glued that up, but the carpet in it looks pretty good. Maybe a touch dingy, but overall okay. Headliner, little cloth headliner's kind of getting saggy. What this truck's really got going for it are two things. The fact that it's a 5-window. All the glass appears to be in good shape. Weather stripping looks good. Felts are good. So this window's skipping just a little bit. If you notice that right there as I go to turn it around. And I know that these are the kind of things that people call and say, well, you know, let's negotiate the price because you know, that window doesn't roll up and down like it's supposed to or whatever. And actually this one's got a crack in it. So this one may need a new window regulator. Something may just need to be greased and adjusted inside, but possibly needs a window regulator. Driver's side window's glass is cracked. I really try hard to go ahead and take into consideration that the truck's not perfect when I price it. I don't price my vehicles way high so that then it's like, well, the glass needs to be replaced and well, the, you know, bed needs to be fixed and, you know, let's take $5,000 off. Like that's not how I run my business. I try really hard to have fair prices and to be realistic about you know, pricing. So anyways, that being said, these are the good parts. You know, the fact the bottoms of the doors, the rockers, back of the cab corners are in good shape on both sides. I'm going to slide up underneath the truck here in just a second and show you. Bottoms of the doors are in great shape here. Really solid truck. This front passenger side inner fender well. Rear passenger side inner fender well. No rust that I can see. Driver's side rear fender well. And I can't quite get my camera all the way in there, but trying to as best I can. One little spot right there, really tiny little spot of rust. I mean, super tiny, like the size of my pinky nail. Right here. Solid. Going up underneath. These step-ups are in great shape. Underneath. A lot of times these channels right here are what rust out on this. This is so solid all the way down. Inside cab corner, a little bit of inner cab corner rust there. Floor pan looks like it's in great shape. These exhaust pipes are newer. And this is what I was saying too, trying to see if I can get the camera up in there. Like this. There you go, right there. This transmission, just the paint on it looks new. It just looks like a transmission that was put in not long ago. And I could be wrong, but I mean, even just like the rear seal on that. So And it of course runs and shifts really, really good. Getting up in here a little bit closer now that I'm laying down here, you can see that there was some rust there. Somebody did some welding to, you know, patch in the floor pan right there in the spot right there. This sides of the floor pan look really good. Fuel tank's been moved to the back. Rear end. Oh, and I was saying the bed wood down here, obviously dusty, but it looks like it's in good shape. Coming over to this driver's side underneath, our passenger side, I'm sorry, real quick. Transmission, floor pans, same thing, step ups here in great shape. Inner rust on the inner cab corners. This side of the truck looking pretty good. Front floor pans. Oh, all right. Well, there you have it. Went a little long on this one, but it's a pretty cool 53 5-window. I think as far as just hopping in it and driving it, I'd just about take this thing anywhere. It runs good, it drives good, steers nice down the road. I forgot to mention too that I think the brakes have been done. I know it's got a power brake booster addition to it, but I noticed that yesterday. Okay, actually, well, I'm thinking of another truck, sorry. I've been working on two 53 Chevys, and yesterday I noticed on the other one that all the lines and stuff appeared to be new. This one, not as much. So, but even still, the brakes work great. And the power brake's nice. So, anyways, good looking driver overall. I think, you know, got a few little imperfections, but I think for the money, this is a really cool truck. It's one you can jump in and drive. It's one you can enjoy this fall and winter, maybe doing a little projecting on, fixing up a few little things, fix the window, clean up the bed. So in my opinion, ready to rock and roll, but you know, for every person, it's a different project. And this is a really sweet little 5-window.